Hey everybody, it's Beth. Welcome to Infinite Garden. This week I am responding to a viewer request to make a video helping to explain how to find your best red lip. I am so excited to make this video. I'm going to try to do it justice. This is a topic that I know a lot of people have commented on in the past. There's a lot of information around this, but I thought at a minimum I could share my personal approach to testing lipsticks, thinking about color, and finding the best red lip for me, and maybe my process can help you find yours. We're gonna talk about the red lip as a concept. We're gonna look at a lot of pictures of people in red lips and of products, and we're gonna go through an example of how to test out what might work for you based on color theory. If all of that sounds good to you, please stay tuned. I can say that my entire life I have been interested in red lipstick, and I have the photos to prove it. I have always, just like a lot of people I think, have associated red lipstick with glamour. And the idea of wearing a red lipstick when I was younger was always associated with either dance performances or theater performances, but rarely did I try to wear a red lip in my normal day-to-day. I think one of the reasons why I have embraced a red lip for normal day-to-day activities, as I have matured, I think I have more interest now than ever of being seen and of being visible. And I think red lipstick shows the intent to be seen. I think it shows an embrace of glamour, and I think it shows a braveness and a willingness to be seen in space and time, in the here and now, as a glamorous individual. A red lip conveys that you are wearing makeup and that you are doing it intentionally and that you are not afraid to be seen and known as someone who does wear makeup to enhance their appearance. And at least in my culture, that alone can be a brave action. With increased visibility comes inevitably increased scrutiny. And I think for many people, the idea of wearing a red lip is also coupled with fear. Have I chosen the right color? Does this look good on me? Is it wearing in well? Does the red lip give me something that I want to project into the world? These questions I think we have to grapple with before many of us feel comfortable putting on a red lip and then moving forward with our day. Now, I don't wear a red lip every day, but I do wear a red lip at least once a week. And on the days when I choose to wear a red lip, those are days when I want to feel visible and polished, even assertive, definitely confident, and also adult. There's something very adult about the red lip. And on those days when I am wearing a red lip, I always feel more stylish, more polished, and of course, more glamorous. This wasn't always the case. For decades, I wouldn't have considered wearing a red lip. I opted for usually tinted lip balms or very nude lipsticks. Max Velvet Teddy has been a long time favorite of mine. It's also easy to be overwhelmed. Just a quick search in Sephora for red lipstick brought up a really wide range of different colors that different makeup makers call red lipstick. Depending on the brand and the individual product, the red colors offered can veer from being very deep and dark to being quite bright and vibrant, and everything in between. There are warm colors available, cool colors available, as well as matte opaque shades and shiny opaque shades, as well as sheer sort of blotted, softer looks. It's all available. Where do you begin to even know what is right for you? Beauty experts say there is a red lip to suit absolutely everybody. So I do think it can be helpful to look at photos of other people wearing red lipstick to see first what appeals to your eye. And especially, it helps to look for people who might share certain features with you to see what looks good on other folks. Depending on your unique features, one red lipstick on you may look harmonious, maybe even natural, and another might look dramatic and vampy. Perhaps a vivid primary is your best red, or perhaps you do better with a muted, more orangey tone. All of this will be unique to you, and there is no wrong answer. If one deep shade looks vampy on you, but that's exactly the look you're trying to go for, then it's the right red for you. I think it's interesting to note that all the products that we looked at could be considered red lipstick, and all of the photos of people we looked at could be described as pictures of people wearing a red lip, and there was a huge variety of tones. If your question is how to know where you can start to think about which tones are right for you, I can share with you exactly what it is that I did, which is try a ton of lipsticks. Over the 2 years while I was transitioning from dyed hair to my silver hair, I went through a complete reset in terms of the colors I like to wear, the makeup I like to wear, and also, and maybe even most specifically, which lipsticks looked right on me. I found that with bright silver hair, it was easy for me to look washed out, and a lipstick really made the difference. Since 2020, I have taken many pictures of myself trying on my lipstick collection, and I've saved those photos into an album called Lippy. And I look at it sometimes to remind myself of what I think looks good on me. And over time, a couple of details emerged. I noticed that I don't tend to like how I look anymore. Not that there's a right or wrong answer, but it's a reaction that I have to makeup on me. I find that I don't love the way it looks when I'm wearing muted, murky colors. I have found that my skin tone is pretty neutral, and I can wear a little bit of a warmer tone, and I can wear a little bit of a cooler tone. But what is most important is that the color is pretty vivid. It's one of the attributes that matters the most to me. This may not be true for you, but I figured it out by putting on lipstick, taking pictures, and looking at them again. I really believe in this method, the method of trying on the colors on yourself, taking pictures, and trying to be as objective as you can. I also learned that I don't love the way I look in deep dark colors or very, very pastel light colors. It seems to me that at this stage right now, my eye prefers how I look in a clear, bright color. But I also noticed that I liked the way I looked in several different types of those colors, and I wanted to narrow it down even further. As I mentioned, my skin itself is very neutral, so a little bit of a cool shade can be fine, a little bit of a warm shade can be fine, but I can't seem to go too far on either end of those spectrums. I need to hug neutral. And what's interesting is that in the makeup world, red is often considered a neutral. You can easily find a clear, bright, neutral red. Next is an example of how you can narrow down certain traits. Now, I took this method, I borrowed concepts from seasonal color analysis. I'm very interested in seasonal color analysis. And one of the things I've noticed that drapers do when they're trying to determine if someone is a winter, spring, summer, fall, is they will compare colors on various spectrums. And two spectrums that I wanted to consider in terms of lipstick were the spectrums of bright to dark. So a bright color is very clear and primary, and a darker color has had black added in this case. That's the spectrum that I'm referring to. And also the difference between a warm color and a cool color. So for this exercise, I wanted to try on 4 lipsticks that would fit into each one of these quadrants and see how I looked in them to see if a preference emerged. All of these colors were already in my collection, and all of these colors are relatively comfortable for me to wear. What I learned from this is that for me personally, bright vivid pinks are a little more comfortable for me to wear than deep berries. Even if deep berries look good, I still think there are attributes of the deep berry tone that looks good on me, but the way I want to feel in the world, this visible, seen, glamorous vibe that I want to project when I'm wearing one of these lipsticks, I feel more closely aligned to the bright pink versus the dark pink. In terms of the warmer tone, I love the shade Morange from MAC. I actually did a video on it. I really like this color. I do feel like it harmonizes with me. My skin tone has just enough yellow in it that the yellow from the orange tone harmonizes with it, and this can look a little more neutral than maybe it would on someone with very cool skin. The orange might look wildly brilliant. The darker red, which is not a dark red, it's just darker than the orange, The dark red is also very comfortable for me. This is a very straightforward red and it feels classic, maybe like old Hollywood glamour or something really traditional. And I know that for me, that's not always the vibe I'm looking to project either. If I'm looking for a red lip, I find that I'm often looking for something really vivid and alive, not necessarily a more serious or traditional look, even if this color suits me well. To further illustrate this point, I want to show two colors that are brownier or warmer. This shade is 1990 from Merit, and it is a pretty flattering color on me. If I feel like wearing a brown lipstick, which isn't very common for me, I do find this one's middle of the road. It doesn't pull too warm. It's not too like muddy and gray on me. It's just a really nice neutral brown. This shade can look good, and here it is, you know, in the mix with the other four colors, just to show the difference, to show a bit of contrast so you can see how vibrant these other shades are. If you find that these super vibrant shades are hard on you and you look better in a more muted neutral brown, you may find that a muted, more neutral red is the right call for you. So I didn't have a good example of a deep, warm red in my collection because that's really not a color that necessarily looks great on me, but I did decide to buy one. I went for the Sephora collection. These Sephora lipsticks are $15, which is a good value, just a little bit around the drugstore range, and I wanted to see what the formula was like. So I did try shade 12, which was described as a deeper warm red. Now this shade also I think looks okay on me, but it's not the kind of color that I want to wear. When I put this on, it feels a little heavy. I feel like it might age me a little bit. It's just not exactly what I'm looking for when I'm looking for a red lipstick. And honestly, that's what matters most. I can't stress enough how important it is to try these shades on you. There is simply too much on the market. There are too many options. And if you've never gone through an exercise like this, I don't know how you would know. I think it would be very easy to maybe pick a color that's not right and then feel defeated. I think part of the fun for this, for me as well, has been the act of really digging in and trying to understand and seeing what really works. It's taught me what to look for. Point is that if I were looking online and I didn't have lipsticks in front of me to try and I had to guess my right shade, after all of this work, all of these years of trying on lipsticks and checking it out, learning about myself and wearing them on a weekly basis at least, I've learned that I really love a bright, vibrant color. It can be neutral, it can be a little cooler or a little warm, and that I really like a bullet lipstick formula personally. So let's talk about formula. Once you know what color you're looking for, you want to think about how you want your lips to feel. Do you want a matte lip? I often do. Today I'm wearing Pat McGrath's Elson 2 in the Matte Trance formula. I did a whole video on this lipstick a couple years ago. I love this shade. I love this formula. It's matte, but it's comfortable. And overall, I find that it stays really well. It lasts through eating. It lasts through drinking. I'll show you how it comes up here. You can see on this, there's almost nothing on the glass itself. And now I've been talking here for about half an hour, and in the mirror here, it looks like it hasn't budged at all. So for me, I'm comfortable with a matte formula, but that might not be your jam. Merit makes a shinier formula in their signature lip, and they have a shade Aperitif, which I think is still limited edition. But they did send that to me in PR. Thank you, Merit. That's a beautiful bright red shade in a more like chapsticky, balmy formula. And that's very comfortable to wear and extremely easy to reapply, although that one will migrate a little bit more on me because it's looser, stickier, shinier. Rare Beauty makes a really great souffle formula. This is their shade Inspire. I really love this one. It's a bright, warm red, and I find it to be very easy to reapply as well. The doe foot here comes to a nice precise point, so you can work your lip lines pretty well just by using this, maybe better than a bullet formula. So I think that this is great. And I don't know how much longer these are going to be available, or maybe they're changing them, but this is a NARS lip pencil in the shade Cruella, which is a little bit of a deep red, kind of neutral, but maybe a little bit deep. You need a sharpener for it, but you can, put this right on your lips and draw them in. So that was a journey that I took to find my favorite red lip. And of course, the journey continues. I probably won't stop looking for more great red lipsticks, and I hope to continue to wear red lipsticks for decades into the future. And I hope that perhaps I've encouraged you to at least consider trying, even if it's in the comfort of your own home. Maybe I've encouraged you to put on some lipstick and see what you think looks best. This part of the self-discovery process has been extremely fun for me, and I really recommend doing it if it's a goal of yours, is to find that perfect red lip. What do you think about red lipstick? Is it too much for you? Is it something you can't live without? Please let me know. I love to hear from you. If you enjoyed this video, please consider giving it a like. If you want to hang out again, please consider subscribing. I post videos on Sunday. Anyway, I hope you're all doing well out there, and I hope you have a great week ahead. Thank you so much for watching. Talk soon.